Hey everybody, it's Jonathan. John Fun Miller back here on the 40 for 40 series, my documentary series about getting ready to turn 4 decades old or young, depending upon which way you view it. The internet has grown since its inception back in the late 70s. The .com came around in the 80s, exploded in the 90s. Let's see, it became more popularized in the early 2000s, and it's generally accepted that we have digital profiles now. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, still have a MySpace, if you haven't gotten online, you're basically considered a dinosaur, or not accepting of change, and or not in the modern world. I get it. There are people that don't want to be online, don't want to be found. They want to be antisocial and or there's my not outgoing. They're the opposite of outgoing. They're not claustrophobic. Why can I? I've forgotten the word because I don't use it much. I've got a lot of friends that like me because I can relate to their character of being antisocial or reclusive. But a lot of people are like that. I mean, not everyone is likable or wants to be liked or whatever the case may be. I think we all need to connect at times. I believe we are social. And then, like, the stuff going on in the world right now is kind of bizarre. I try not to speak about politics, sex, or religion on this documentary because no one agrees on any of it. You've got, and for the record, I used to be registered Democrat, but the Democratic Party does not identify with me, and I don't identify with them. And so does same goes for Republicans. So when I re-registered to vote, and yes, if you notice the knot on my head, I had a big zit. It popped, and I guess I dug into it too much, and now I kind of have a big spot on my head at the moment too. So there's another side story. And this week's went way better than last week. It's at least been smooth. Nothing major dramatic has happened. So that's been a good thing. Renewed my driver's license. It's also Thursday, March 28th, 2019. So, anyways, I've got a slow weekend coming up, which is good. And where was I going? Oh, yeah. Now that I've veered off into something else, totally changed every subject. And if you're able to follow any of these videos, most of the time it's just some kind of rambling. But my train of thought just goes from one subject to another, and you have to kind of pay attention. Sorry, that may be my entertainment values. You kind of have to pay attention to where I'm going or where I'm coming from. I'm not sure exactly how that works. But, oh yeah, sex, religion, and politics. Well, being a man, obviously, and this is a running joke for me, and I'm not bashing anything with the Me Too movement. I know there are men out there that have hurt women so bad. But why is there a perception that has gotten worse in my lifetime that every man on the freaking planet is automatically thinking of sex? Okay, now, let me draw a line there and divide this up. That's where I stop with that. Now, here's where it goes into, it seems like every other woman, no matter the age, except for children, we'll leave them out of this discussion because, well, anything involving children under the age of 18 is totally off limits. We'll just leave it at that because that's where it needs to stay. I have never been and or have ever found children to be attractive. I believe that is disgusting. And men, women, or any person that has that type of attraction does have an issue. I'm just going to leave it at that because it's up to society to deal with that kind of stuff. Going back to what I'm trying to elaborate on is, why does there seem to be this overwhelming consensus of if a man talks to you, he automatically wants sex and or is interested in you, and or it seems like a man and woman can just not be a friend. I mean, even studies have said that most of the time a man believes that he may have a chance with a woman like 60% of the time. I've heard this somewhere, like in the news, but it wasn't recently. It seems like it was a while ago, like a few years. But my point is, it's like, I understand why women nowadays just kind of, unless they're able to handle all of the stuff that's said about them, fight an uphill battle. But yet, on the other end, as a guy, I feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle just because that perception's already out there. It gives me a headache to think of this stuff. But that's it. I can't. I feel like I can't honestly connect with people because they're already afraid of you. As a man, I feel like women are already afraid of every man in existence. It's crazy. I don't blame them, but it's crazy. It's phobia. It's a mental disorder. We're basically there's a generation of mental disorders, and that sounds a little broad, but considering how many people have to go to the psych ward all the time, I may have a point. I'm just saying. Oh boy. And now that I've dug my own hole, my own grave, I'm going to go lay in it. If you've enjoyed this, subscribe. If you haven't and just somehow listen to me ramble, subscribe. I'm getting ready to go over a hill. And from some people told me it's all downhill after that hill. So maybe when I look back on these 40 videos that I'm trying to get out before April 22nd, I might find or remember something interesting and actually be like, yeah, gotta love documentaries. Y'all be safe out there. Enjoy life. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. And I will see you later. Peace.